for being here tonight on a school night for the 9th annual Poetry Slam at Grant High School. My name is Paige Battle. I'm the librarian here, and I am assisted by the amazing, magical Jennifer Sochua. She's in the back. Thank you for all your help. So just a quick introduction. I do this every year. Some of these poems that the poets are going to share tonight have some hard truths. Some of them have humor. And some might have a little bit of profanity. The students know that as their teacher librarian, I support their First Amendment right of free speech, and I will defend it till the day I die. And so they are allowed to use the wording that they feel best conveys the artistic message that they want to get across. So just want to put that out there. Tonight, I have as our MC a very special student, Sarah Mellinger, has been a student library assistant intern for the last 3 years, and I don't know what we are going to do when she graduates in June. We're so grateful that she has decided to take this class every year for the last 3 years. So, with no further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Sarah as she's walking to the microphone. Can everybody take out their phones and put them on silent? Or perhaps even turn them off and just be immersed in the world of poetry for the next 90 minutes. Thank you, Sarah.
Hi. Nope. Hi.
There you go.
I didn't practice with this mic beforehand, and I'm short. So I am Sarah Mellinger, and I just want to raise of hands. How many of you have been to a poetry slam before? That's a lot of people. For those of you who haven't, myself included, we're just going to go over the rules. So, there are a few rules. Each poet must perform a work that is their own. That means that every poet here is performing something that they have written. They can have no costumes, no props, no music, and there is a 3-minute time limit for every poem. There is, after 3 minutes, a 10-second grace period, but at 3 minutes and 11 seconds, a penalty is automatically deducted from the poet's score. Poems will be scored by our lovely judges on a scale of 0 to 10. The highest score and the lowest score will be thrown out, and the middle 3 will be added together. The poets with the 5 highest scores will move on to our second round. And at the end of round 2, the scores from their poems will be added together to determine the winner and the runner-up. Throughout the evening, we will be sharing some fun facts about our judges, as well as some interesting events around Grant that you should go to. So usually at this point we have a sacrificial poet. For the last 6 years, that's been our Neil Patrick Harris, Dylan Lehman, for the Tonys. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here tonight. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump right in. Yeah. Someone up in the front row just went, oh. So let's find out who the poet will be. Sorry. And it is Ben Eboshi.
I like to brag, like to boast that my life wouldn't be 50 times easier with you. I like to say I don't need you, say I'm too cool to give myself up. I'll never say I need you, always deny that sometimes I think you can save me. Save me from wrestling with the tangled cords that prevent me from feeling. Save me from hours of wasted time weaving my way out of seemingly unavoidable messes. Save me from the leash confining my soul to a radius around my pocket. Because AirPods, I need you. Or I don't need you. God. You can't save me. And the price is too high. The price of my supposed happiness, the price of $159. But I don't need you. I remember the day I first laid eyes on you, secretly wanting my ears on you. A Monday morning, moseying to class. Another gloomy day until I pass, see a white flash, turn my head, see you sitting in their head. They're strutting, striding, swaggering, displaying you like a dealership displays a new car. I didn't even know you, but I knew I had to have you. I was wrong. The second class ended, I quick drew my phone, my thumbs flurried as I looked you up, grinning, till I saw the price. My smile fell with a thud. I couldn't bring myself to do it. You're not that great anyway. As time went on, I couldn't bear to see you with others, your sleek casings hanging over their undeserving lobes. I'm envious of their ear holes, dreaming of the day that you will fill mine. Or, I was envious, until I found something better. My friends tell me I was naive to think $30 for a knockoff could ever fill the void, could ever heal the hole in my heart that can only be helped by an Apple product. But I keep telling myself they're wrong. I don't think I need you. My pair's a fifth of the price, you're a fifth of the quality. But deep down I know nothing can replace you. I tell people my fakes can, but the mammoth size, smaller range, plastic feel, broken mic, fragile case, off-brand color, all loom over me, forever reminding me of your greatness. Because AirPods, not having your Bluetooth makes me blue. Your range makes being apart unbearable. Your simplistic controls push my buttons. Your microphone leaves me speechless. Your sound quality could never be clearer to me. The dream of your battery life is the only thing that keeps me running. Because AirPods, I need you.
Ben, you didn't need a prop. That was awesome. So as a way of introducing us all, let me be. We are going to let you know what each judge's favorite book or book from Beverly Cleary, because she is a Grant alum from the class of 1934, and tomorrow we'll be celebrating her 103rd birthday. Right. But because choosing favorites is difficult, they also had the option of giving us their favorite poet, because April is National Poetry Month. So our first judge fact is for Kat Meow Garcia. Her favorite poet is Suhair Hamad, and her favorite Beverly Cleary book is The Mouse and the Motorcycle. I like that book. So judges, can we see your score for Ben?
Hold them up high.
So we have a 7.2, an 8.2, a 6.7, a 7.0, and a 6.8. And our second poet is May Zook.
Great. This is called The Executioner. I am cold. I turn my head from slights and slaughters and look instead toward sins my own. I am bitter. I've been through hell and through high waters, yet I call a prison home. I am ridiculed for my stiffness. I won't account my inner wars. I carry guilt, pain unimaginable to a mind as young as yours. I am heartless. I know no empathy. I eye the noose. I love no other. I am sadistic. I lack compassion. Hold the lever before a brother. I am inhuman. I carry weight to crush an army, yet I keep my stoic guise. I've killed men of countless numbers. I have heard their faceless cries. And you will count for me my carnage, but your media sees no tears. How do I justify the murders I've amassed across the years? I've taken lives round every corner, but there's no bounty on my head. With each day that I grow older, I ask, who will save you when I'm dead? I am frigid, I am numb, I am placid and unfeeling, I'm inhumane and I am callous. My gentle looks may be deceiving. A pariah among my equals, I am a victim of my trade. You see cold-blooded, but when you're terrified, I'll be crawling to your aid. But I'm still no star. I'm no messiah. I bear no golden sword. You call me scum, fish, evil, and I will suffer through your scorn. And now you see, I've lost my humanity. Something deep within has died. Are you satisfied now? You've seen your sights. You've seen the other side.
That was awesome. That was awesome. So our judge, Allison Harding, took a long time to decide her favorite poet, but came to the conclusion of Shakespeare. I know I see some nods, like, oh, a clap. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's have our scores for May. We have a 7.8, an 8.3, an 8.2, an 8.0, and a 7.1. And our next poet is Alara Lane Holvik.
Sorry, I just wanted to do that. Okay. This poem is called 8 Years Old. You never blame the 8-year-old who spent the summer before her 3rd year being told to strip of her clothing and hug him tighter. You never blame the 8-year-old because she was only 8 years old and didn't even know why she was scared. You don't blame her at 9 for not saying anything, still out of fear from the objectification she faced so often, or at 10 when she's covering up her body shame while the media is exposing and shaming her developing and unexposed body, calling young celebrities sluts for going through puberty. You don't blame her when she's 11 and is still not speaking even though it has ended, when she's 12 for not being able to recognize a new abuser developing, slowly tying knots so she wouldn't notice until too late. You don't blame her when she's 13 and tells a friend who didn't know what to do and told the state, or for telling the truth when she had the opportunity, no matter how inconvenient. When she's 14 and still can't recognize this new danger, when she finds it in herself to forgive her own brother. You don't blame her when she's 15 and finally wakes up to realize what's happening to her. It was a boomerang she thought she threw away. And even when her mom is telling her she shouldn't have ruined his life that way, you still don't blame the 16-year-old, even though she's 16 years old and could have known better. At 17, when almost every day she's unable to get out of bed because she can't find a reason to and just go, or at 18 for coming into her own. You don't blame her at any age because you never know what to do. You don't know what to do, especially when it's happening to you. I still do not know what to do. I know there were other options. I know there were other paths that led to different places. And if you let me stay up long enough in the middle of the night alone with my thoughts, I can tell you exactly where to find them. Are they better? No. Are they different? Absolutely. And you didn't blame the 8-year-old, so why blame me? I was only 8 years old and didn't even know why I was scared.
Can we have one more round of applause for Alara Lane? And our judge fact of the poet is Elise Schumacher. Her favorite Beverly Cleary book was Ramona Quimby, very specifically age 8. Do we have scores? Raise them high. We have an 8.2, a 9.0, a 6.2, an 8.0, and a 9.5. And our next poet is Olivia Thorpe.
I will forever be mad that people associate stuttering with fluent people's anxiety. My voice is not a trope. If you're tripping over your words because you're just so in love, or because you're scared for your life, or because you're a lying bastard, find your own damn word. As much as I love Alfred Hitchcock, and believe me, I do, Psycho certainly lent itself to a poor image of what it means to stutter. Norman stumbles profoundly through his impromptu interrogation, restarting sentences, fighting through words, changing his story. The next time I'm told that stuttering is a symptom of bad ethos, that means I don't believe in what I'm saying, I'll think back to Anthony Perkins. I can promise you this, if I didn't believe in what I'm saying, I'd have had plenty of time to stop saying it by the time all is said and done. I don't like that I've internalized so much of the underlying oppression I've inherited because of my voice. I still start conversations now and again with, "Sorry, I have a stutter," and I always get the same response, "Oh no, you're fine, I had no idea." Translation, it's okay, you sound normal, normal, normal. I spent years in speech therapy trying to sound normal. I guess all that time was wasted on a non-issue, and I'm supposed to say thank you. Thank you for welcoming me into the fold, I guess, for where we ignore the fact that my voice is a little glitchy, and we ignore the fact that I have accommodations for that, and we ignore the accommodations themselves. And I'll ignore that they're being ignored because in my mind, even still, I'm not disabled enough to warrant them. We fly under the radar until the time comes to put an audience on edge with our erratic and abnormal speech patterns, or perhaps to lend our disfluencies every once in a while to those who could use them better.
That was a nice job. So our next judge fact is Alicia Tate's favorite 2 poets are Maya Angelou and Sonia Sanchez. Do we have our scores? We have an 8.3, an 8.4, an 8.8, an 8.2, and an 8.7. And our next poet is Danny Fisher.
Don't do it. Please, man, this isn't you. Step away from the safe. I know you've been struggling. I can't comprehend what you go through every day just to get out of bed in the morning, but you have to take whatever sliver of daylight you have and turn it into a giant sun. Because if you give up anything you care about today, then you give up everything. If you lose anything, then you've lost too much. No, close that door. Stop staring at that gun like it's your salvation, like it's going to solve your problems. I get that the world treats you like shit. Society has decided that you have depression. It's convenient. Now the problems that you have aren't anyone's fault. Every day of your life, you're told that you're not good enough, that all the work you put in is for nothing, that you'll never be smart, attractive, or worth anything, but you have a diagnosis, so it's something wrong with your brain that makes you like this. Your friends don't hang out with you as much because you're a downer, and you have trouble with relationships because everyone around you is so weak that they're afraid to share even a fraction of the burden that you walk around with every day. But you've made it this far, haven't you? That gun is not going to take away any of your problems, it just takes away your opportunity to overcome them yourself. Put the gun down! You've got to fight this. I know things are hard right now, but they're supposed to be. Life is nothing if not the opportunity to repeatedly hit your head against a brick wall in an attempt to make it move. Not all walls are created equal, but we are all given a chance. And it sounds pretty awful until you realize that you've made a dent. Because as hard as it is to hit your head over and over against a seemingly immovable structure, when you realize that your persistence and stubbornness have created a crack or chip or any kind of imperfection in that wall, it will all have been worth it. Put the gun down and keep hitting your head, because even if you fail, you'll have given it your best shot, and that's all anyone can do. Take your finger off of the trigger. I don't give a damn that these are cliches. They are cliches because they are across the board good reasons not to die, and I can't lose you. You might not mean anything to yourself, but you mean an awful lot to me, and it'd be pretty selfish of you to die now, because if you die now, you'll take a piece of me with you. No, I said take your finger off of the trigger. You can have another chance after that, but only if you take that cold metal away from your head, lock it in the safe, and throw away the key. Once you pull that trigger, there are no more chances. You'll just be a statistic, one of the hundreds of thousands of people every year that I couldn't save. From the dawn of time to the end of man, there will never be another human on this earth who is just like you. This life is a burden, and it's a great big wall, but it is an opportunity to take what about you is unique and turn it into something special. How mad at yourself would you be if you had the opportunity to be something and you gave all of that up for a grave? Please put the gun down. I'll miss you.
One more round of applause for Danny. Our next poet fact is N.E.A. Weisberg. Her favorite poet is Elizabeth Bishop. Can we have our scores for Danny? We have an 8.5, an 8.2, a 9.3, a 9.0, and an 8.1. And our next poet is Jordan Dimmoff.
The king of rock and roll resonates in me. For the first 3 seconds of every song, I'm already excited for the next glorious minutes. For the grooves and words didn't matter, because when you're 7, the only thing that makes a good song is if your dress twirls and whirls to the beat of the drums while you're dancing to Jailhouse Rock. The king of rock resonates in me. From the odd sandwich combos I'd love to eat, those breakup nights that were now happy blues only words could describe, 'cause wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't stop falling in love with you. When your name is spoken, the colors of gold and white flow through the mind of this hard-headed woman, 'cause ever since the world began, when there was a thorn in my side, putting that golden disc into the old blackberry made there be less dread, less tears were shed at the fact I didn't get to say goodbye. The king of rock and roll resonates in me. And it may be because it was this first song I ever listened to, or maybe because it was the first CD I learned to put in a player, or maybe because she told me they were neighbors making my eyes open wide, or maybe because
I close them even tighter at the fact that she's gone. Those Easters, those Christmas days, the 4th of Julys where she'd catch me sneaking the last few olives from the crystal platter, not being with the older kids, but with my own self under the stairs in my own closet that she made just for me, because coming out of that closet is the hardest thing for someone to do, and it's not because you'll trip over all the memories and forts within this closet, but how will the outside world react to you coming out? She knew, or I'd like to think she knew, the only girl not like the other ladies, with her smile so tender she spent a lifetime of adventure, and now here she was having all our hearts stop when we heard hers were skipping beats. We were all lonesome that night. It was always you from the start. With my wooden heart, I couldn't say goodbye, but she said the most heartwarming, tear-jerking thing she could have said, and it might have been because I was losing her, but she knew my pronouns better than I did. What did he say? I said nothing. I surrendered. The stars aligned, told my story of my heartbreak hotel that I seemingly checked into and couldn't leave. Because something resonated in me, the king of rock and roll, Rocky Roads, the ice cream you see in Baskin-Robbins and just pass by, but all I can do is cry, because I didn't get to say goodbye. The king of rock and roll resonates in me. No, Rosemary Jane Dimoff resonates in me.
Thank you so much, Jordan. Can we have one more round of applause? We don't have a judge fun fact, but we do have the fun fact that the one acts are coming up at the beginning of the next month. May 9th through the 11th, and the following week, May 16th through the 18th. Every alternating day, there are different sets of one acts. The one acts are plays mostly written and acted and directed and teched all by Grant High School students. It's a fun time. Can we have our scores for Jordan, please? We have an 8.4, a 9.2, a 9.1, a 9.9, and another 9.9. And our next poet is Logo.
I'm not sure I can top that, but I got a book. I see a beast, a fearsome one indeed. It has sharp teeth and long claws and evil in its eyes. Its breath reeks with past victims screaming with silent voices. It wants only one thing: your soul. But I see the pain in its face, the hatred it has for itself. It hates what it does. It hates it. It only wants to help, but intention means nothing. It knows it can only hurt, but it still tries to help, and it hurts, and it hurts over and over again. I see a monster. Malice for sure. A stone-cold cage around its heart and ice water in its blood. I see a mirror.
MSU logo. So, our Experience Art Show at Grant will be held in the library on Thursday, May 16th and Friday, May 17th. You can come for the opening reception and then stay for the 1X. Judges, do we have our scores? And if we don't, I can move around like this until you do. So we have, I hate this, no. We have an 8.6, a 7.8, an 8.4, a 7.8, and a 7.9. And our next poet is Ruby.
I'm a liar, and I'm being honest now, but don't quote me on that. Sometimes the lies are soft, and I don't care that I lied. Yes, I put away my laundry. I promise I'll be off my phone by 10. I walk the dog. No, sorry, I'm busy Friday. Soft lies don't bite you after they fall from your mouth. Sometimes they nip at your ankles, but you can shake them off and keep lying, so I don't mind telling soft lies. Not all my lies are soft. They're slippery lies. Lies where I pretend I'm not really lying. I'm fine. I can do it later. I love the sweater you gave me. I'm fine. Just tired. Slippery lies suction on your back. Their jaws are much stronger than soft lies. When you try and pull them off, it's almost impossible. They bite right where you can't reach. They have smooth, oily curves that always slither out of your grasp. I tell slippery lies a lot, and then I tell myself I didn't, and another lie latches to my spine. Then there are python lies. They often grow from slippery ones, and they suffocate you. You see, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine! Landed me in the hospital, the python wrapping around my neck and slithering up my throat. I can do it later. 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 Left me crying over unfinished assignments due too soon, the hiss of its tongue flicking in my ear as it crushed my lungs. The worst lies, though, the worst ones are the ones where I'm not sure if the lie is worse than the truth. I hate telling these lies. They bubble up from the pit of my stomach, a reflexive vomit I cannot stop, burning my throat, tongue, and heart as I say it. But what am I to do with the words, I love you? Do I let the lie erode my soul, dissolve and corrode me from the inside out, and leave the most special words meaning nothing? Or do I choke back the reflex, feel it scratch at the roof of my mouth, push and claw at my canines as it tries to force its way out, screaming its song of shame, calling me wrong, rude, repulsive, when I refuse to free this appalling lie? No, it seems stupid, but every time I let those lies tumble from my mouth like teeth in my nightmares, the love I have drains slightly more, till everyone hears only lies about love leave my lips, and I am left an empty shell of cracking glass, filled with pythons, covered in slippery suctions, a wake of soft subterfuge wherever I go.
Thank you, Ruby Cooper Carl. Our Grant Trade Show, date and time to be determined, is coming up soon. So keep your eyes peeled on the weekly bulletins for that. Just feel out when it will happen. I believe the trade show is from all the marketing classes. 2 marketing classes. Peace marketing classes. Abby is in a marketing class. And they sell a lot of stuff at those marketing classes because they're marketing classes. So go out there and support the marketing students on a time and date to be determined. Possibly May 21st. or the 29th. We'll figure it out as we go. Can we have our judges' scores for Ruby? We have an 8.5, an 8.7, an 8.3, an 8.0, and a 7.8. And our next poet is Nicole Davis.
I write because a pen, a page, a mic, a stage helped end my rage and mend my days. I write because I shy from interaction, rather create the action. It's easier to skip emotions and link the ink into a cool cup of compassion. I write because for a while I lived in ignorance until your call obliterated my blissful oblivion. I write because honestly, my own honesty was beginning to bother me. I write because you were caller number 2 or 3 and the demons y'all have bestowed upon me are starting to get to me. I write because every time I spoke, it seemed like I was ignored, as if my mouth was taped shut or my voice was mute. As I found the pencil and paper, I no longer saw the need to speak. As I rolled my tongue and almost swallowed, I found poetry. I had to write because the pages had no choice but to listen, and when no one was there painting pictures by pouring my past on paper provided assistance. I had to learn to write because at 3 a.m. I could never sleep. And physically my eyes were beginning to tote designer bags, and my head was temporarily taking over the weight of the world once on my shoulders. And mentally, well, it's a mental game, so night every night I lie awake with dreams of monetary gain and no pain. I had to learn to write so I could save me from me. Because you see me, I'm my worst enemy, and I had subconsciously chosen to ignore my divine energy. Now I'm struggling like mama making ends meet. My friends peep the change in aura, the rift in my usual character, and I'm not Boogie, but I guess I'm at war with my reflection. And we just lost Nipsey, so I'm laughing in a little direction. My heart is heavy, I'm thinking, what if I die when I'm peaking? What if them crackers come get me? A hating bitch with a yicky, them people hate us, cause they ain't us. So they rather detain us, decapitate our abilities, limit the opportunities, pit us against each other. Now it's tension between you and me. And what that get us? What do we gain from being distant? Beefing over the net, nigga, you mad over a mention, nigga, they're killing us, really killing us. And laughing up in our faces to show us that they don't give a fuck. If we gon' preach our lives matter, they've got to matter to us first. They're raging war on black boys, they're hitting us where it hurts, and that's at 3 a.m. That's how I'm thinking. So I put this pen to paper like it's coddling my secrets. But like a baby what used to hide started peeking. Because I never healed from that pain, just pushed it deep in. I had this idea that if I ignored my demons, they go away. Over time, I had no idea. They set up shop within my mind. I've been crying, man, just to hear something other than thinking. Tired of staring at this wall, cause nigga, I ain't even blinking. But they don't hear me though. They don't feel me though. They see the scars, but they wasn't there when I felt the blow. When I was down, I had to learn to fight. So I guess you could say I saved my life when I learned how to write.
We have one more round of applause. And our fun, exciting grant event next is the guitar/audio concert on Tuesday, May 21st at 7 p.m. in the courtyard. Judges, do we all have our scores? Hold them up high. For those of you that can't see, that's a 9.9, a 9.9, a 9.2, a 9.9, and a 9.9. And our next poet is True Laborde.
Wow, you're growing up to be such a nice young lady. Why can't I just be growing? I go to school to be successful, but only successful enough to get paid my 79 cents to a man's dollar.
I'm walking with my fists in my pockets, full of fear, nails sticking into my palms. I'm scared. Scared of a man walking 15 feet behind me. Or am I fists full of rage? Rage from the cat calls and the whistling, the taunts coming out of a mouth that may never know its victim's pain. I'm at the grocery store, standing in aisle 5. A man touches my side and says, "Excuse me, sweetie." But I already knew he was there. A threat like that comes with a warning only subtle enough for a woman to notice. Maybe it's a superpower wielded out of fear. I mean, who gave him the right? Who gave him the right to touch me? If it was a man reading the ingredients on the back of a box of crackers, how could it have gone differently? He would have just said, "Excuse me, move on," because I'm something to admire, to touch, to possess. Bullied by society until I change until I'm not myself. Impossible standards. That nose job, those implants, Botox, but then I'm fake. I'm plastic. Is this what you wanted? Me to mold myself into your unrealistic ideals? The list goes on. And apparently, the only numbers important to me are the size of my clothes. That's on the outside. But what about my GPA? And that's from the inside. If I'm being strict or in control, I'm a bitch. If I'm arguing or disagree, I'm feisty. I'm not feisty. I'm angry. Sometimes I imagine a different world. A world where I can walk alone at night. I'm not nervous about getting assaulted or scared and getting the blame because I was asking for it. My skirt was too short, or the fact that no wasn't enough. I was asking for it. All of these everyday realities I wish I could revoke. Like my consent slips off your mind, not there, and I'll ask for. Or maybe I wouldn't have to deal with teachers telling me to smile more, telling me I'm too pleasant or pleasing to be sad. It's okay for guys to do it, right? That's a perfect reason for me to do it too. I mean, isn't that the point? Girls can do anything guys can do. That's feminism, not bashing men or the fact that girls are better than boys. It's that we're equal. That's the point.
Thank you, True. Can we have another round of applause for True? And our next courtyard event, the choir concert on Wednesday, May 22nd at 9 at 7. If anyone needs a tissue in the front row. Judges, do we have scores for True? We have an 8.3, an 8.2, a 7.3, an 8.2, and a 9.7. And our next poet is Jake Roeder.
This one's called The Weapon. I remember you in 8th grade when you held that weapon. Even though that weapon was a pair of scissors, in your hand it would not be used to cut paper. In your hand it was terrifying. As you walked toward my friend with aggression in your eyes, holding like that weapon like you'd harm him terribly, I ran over to stop you. Out of the corner of your eye, you saw me. Your focus changed from my friend to me. You didn't hold back. You struck my arm and didn't want to stop there. I fell to the ground, thinking to myself, did this kid just do this? After you did, I yelled for the teacher, but she didn't care. The attention went back to my friend. But before you can do any more harm, I got up, walked over to you. I stopped whatever you wanted to do to him. When you hit the ground, you had no more power. You lost everything you were trying to accomplish. The teacher dragged you to the office. I didn't know what to think about you. The weapon went half an inch in my arm. I was scared not knowing what you'd do next. I didn't want to go to school. I told my family about you. I walked the halls with people calling me names. I was known as a scissor kid. I had to deal with the name calling. But you didn't come back the next day. You didn't come to school the day after or the day after that. It had been a week since you struck me with that weapon. On Monday, you had your first day back. You would glare at us in the halls, and I would just say, "Keep walking, kid." Weeks went by and you wouldn't say a peep, not even a sorry. So I would just glare back, hoping this kid knows that I won't be so nice if he does it again.
Thank you, Jake. Another round of applause for Jake, please. We have a band concert scheduled for May 23rd at 7 p.m. Guess where it is? All together now. The courtyard. We were bad at that. May 23rd. It's Thursday. It's a Thursday. Or it's the 11th. Cool. I'm gonna go with the date on the paper.
What's the date, Danny?
No, I know the date. I wanted to have her make a little. It's a shameless plug. So
Shameless plug.
the whole thing: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, May 21st, 22nd, 23rd. Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So it's this big event. Every day after school, we host an event in the courtyard. First, it's dance. Right, that was what you.
Yes. Or choirs.
Guitar/audio.
Guitar/audio, then choir, then band.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's a big 3-day event. It's like, yeah, it's a big 3-day event. You should all come.
It's like
we're really good.
Woodstock, maybe.
That's the word I was looking for. Mystery content. I'm too young to understand.
Oh, thank you, Danny, for this
You're
information.
welcome for my shameless plug.
Always. Can we have scores for Jake, please? We have a 7.9, a 7.8, a 6.2, a 7.7, and a 7.4. And our next poet is Abby Walker.
Hello. I promise, I don't have it that bad. In fact, I've never had it bad, but for some reason I can't get this thing out of my brain. It ain't quite pain, but it's driving me so fucking insane, this thing in my brain. It's strange. A fog that I can't vacuum away, a numbness that really just wants to stay. I look in the mirror and it's not me. I look far away and I cannot see straight. 'Cause I busted my lenses, straining to find the worth of the woman in the mirror. I busted my eardrums, trying to drown all the thoughts that keep me awake. It's strange. I calm down by thinking about a cold barrel to my temple, rough rope around my neck. Squeeze the trigger just a little, string me up until I'm dead. My mind runs wild with the things that I could do, but I hold on to my life because of the things that still run true. It's strange. Adrenaline. I wake up in a sweat before I know why, bury my head in the blankets, calm down, make a checklist, calm down, be productive, calm down, don't waste another day away, calm down, and go. It's strange. You know, it's crazy how real a smile can seem, even with the tears dripping down my face as I try to lean my heavy heart against my backbones for support. It's strange. Please kill me. Softly, kill me slow, wind me up and watch me go, but just because I'm a little cold don't mean I shouldn't leave my story untold, so I cope. I say I'm worth more alive than I am dead. I'm more useful above ground than 6 feet under cursed. I have the power to change the face of the whole universe, but I must live on. It's strange. I don't want to be a burden. I don't want my mom's face to drop just because I'm hurting. I don't want to seem like I'm in more pain when really I'm just the same as yesterday. I am way, way okay compared to the others in my place, so I will put on a happy face to convince y'all that I'm okay because I will be okay. I'll tell you once and only once, I'm not doing so hot, but I won't pull any stunts. I won't be good for a long ass time, but from now on I will be okay with lying. Because remember what my dad told me, that my mood affects all those around me, and so I don't want to bring those down around me, so I'll make a promise that I'll try not to break. I love them all, and so now always I will falsely say, I'm okay. I promise.
Once more for Abby. And Danny was partially right. The dance choreography showcase is on Thursday, May 30th through Saturday, June 2nd at 7 p.m. refreshingly in the auditorium. A barrel full of joy, that auditorium. Judges, do we have our scores for Abby? We have an 8.2, an 8.3, a 6.5, a 8.6, and an 8.5. And our second to last, penultimate. I was going to save penultimate for round 2. So sorry. Our second to last poet for round 1 is Jade Lehman.
The Reaper is grim, that is where she gets her name, the Grim Reaper. I propose a new name. The April Reaper, or perhaps the Slam Reaper, or the Poetry Reaper. The universe has yet to fail to amend my lack of a slam poem by giving me something to write about. And I'm sorry I'm not off book, but the universe doesn't really give tragedy the forewarning for the slam. A week ago was 1 year later, celebration for a dear friend. It was beautiful. I thought about revisiting that. My grandfather's wake was a year ago. It was beautiful. I thought about revisiting that. Today, my family skipped school to visit my other grandfather in hospice, the April Reaper. But maybe it was all right from the start, because grim is how it feels. Today, I sat with my grandpa as he babbled and coughed and twitched. Neither coherent nor lucid, heart and mind failing in parallel. Grim is how I would describe sitting next to one of the men who raised me as he struggles to breathe or understand the scenario. Grim is how it feels to be writing a poem about your friend who died only a year ago, only to have your father tell you your grandpa has gotten worse. Grim is how it feels to find out your other grandpa died a week after a good friend did. Grim is the goddamn Reaper. Heart attack, cancer of the bone, Alzheimer's, congestive heart failure. Grim is the goddamned Reaper, and all I want is to stop having poetry prompts.
Thank you, Jade. One more round of applause for Jade. And also a round of applause for his mom told me that he was going to kill her, Owen Pollock, Miss Battle's son, for being our videographer for this evening. So, Owen. Judges, do we have our scores for Jade? Almost. I can keep talking. Owen is from Access Academy. I remember seeing him in the halls as I walked down that place on my own middle school journey. I remembered thinking, oh, that was Miss Battle's son, Owen Pollock. Thank you, Owen. You're keeping such a straight face through all of this. Good job. Judges. Okay, we have a 7.9, another 7.9, a 7.0, a 7.9, and an 8.5.
And our last poet of round one, I don't need to open the last slip of paper, but it is a one Jamie Fields.
This poem is called The Day You Forgot Who I Was. You're 96, I understand. It's not your fault, but it still hurts. I came to visit you and my grandma, your daughter, at the beach. I was sitting on your couch reading a book like I always do, but you stared and wouldn't talk to me. You knew my dad, Frank. He fixes your house sometimes, but you didn't know me. You almost remembered my mother, your granddaughter, but you didn't know me. I don't think you knew my brother either, but at the restaurant you weren't sitting next to him, you were sitting next to me. You looked confused. Then you turned to me, said hi, told me your name. Yes, I know your name. Mine? I'm Jamie. Yes, I've met your daughter. She's my grandmother. That makes you my great-grandfather. No, I'm not an exchange student. Yes, I know Frank. He's my dad. No, I'm not his student. I'm his daughter. Yes, I've met your daughter. She's my grandmother. Yes, I live with Frank. No, I'm not Frank's student. Yes, I like Newport very much. Yes, I've met your daughter. She's... Never mind. No, I'm not new to America. Jamie. My name is Jamie. Yes, my hair is long. Yes, I've met your daughter. Yes. Never mind. It's nice to meet you. It's nice to meet her. I'm Jamie. It had been coming on for years. You were always the handyman, always ready to fix things, always wanting to help, but then you got too old and too frail and you didn't realize it. Dad and I once came by to take out a couple of walls a few years ago. You wanted to help. You saw me prying up nails and wanted to do that. It took you 15 minutes to get to. When I came to check on you, I found you covered in blood. Your hands had torn, your fingernails were bleeding, you were sitting on the floor. It was just you and me. I told you you needed a Band-Aid, but you refused. Papa, you're bleeding. I know you want to help, but you're bleeding. We need to get you inside to get a Band-Aid. No, I'm not trying to stop you from helping. I just want you to be safe. We'll get you a Band-Aid and you can come right back out. You're bleeding. No, I'm not trying to get rid of you. I appreciate your help. I didn't show you the wrong way to do it. You did just fine, but you're bleeding. Bleeding, Papa. Can't you see the blood? I tried to help you up, but I didn't know how. You weren't heavy, but you were frail, too frail, and I didn't want to damage you. I didn't want to touch you. Even then, I knew you were forgetting me. The days we'd spent together on the beach playing in the sand, the rocks, the special rocks you gave me and my brother. You won't remember these things, but I will, and I'll treasure them. But it hurts. I grew up visiting you. You always knew me. You gave me advice and showed me pretty things. You helped set up a mattress for me to sleep on. Now I'm just a stranger. You're 96. I understand it's not your fault, but it still hurts.
Thank you, Jamie. Another round of applause for Jamie. And she was our last poet of round one. So, thank you so much. Can we have a thank you for Pardis Navi, our math genius, for helping crunch the judges' numbers tonight. Her favorite poet is Shel Silverstein. So, can we have all of tonight's poets come back up to the microphone for a quick photograph after I let you all go for our 10-minute intermission while the first round scores are tallied, and we'll find out who's going to round two. No, never mind. We need Jamie's scores. Thank you. Jamie's scores, please. We have an 8.0, an 8.5, a 7.4, an 8.1, and an 8.6. So I'll call you back after our intermission. No, I'm kidding. So, would it be cool though? Okay, yeah. It would be cruel. We're not just randomly calling the poet. So, to give everyone a little bit of preparation, here are the 5 poets whose names are being put back in the fishbowl, and I have the first one in my hand for round 2. So, give it up for, in no particular order, Olivia, Alara Lane, Nicole, Danny, and Jordan.
And then give it up a little bit more for the first person who has to give their second poem, Jordan Dimmoff.
When was the last time you were nervous, anxious, scared? 3 weeks ago, 6 p.m., runners to your marks. Get set, bang. Happy butterflies freed from my confining rib cage, but worst case scenario, those late nights where my pillow knows more about my fears than my parents on the other side of the wall, where those who have my heart the most don't see what rivers my eyes are capable of letting go, although you could use all your strength to speed dial someone who you don't think will yell at you for the drop of a hat, 'cause when you're scared, fight, flight, or freeze comes into play on those shaky nights that I never thought anyone would stalk me when I want nothing to do with him, so why didn't he fuck off? Like how I stopped caring to keep a smile on my face, but as an actor, you gotta stay in character, so be brave, be happy, be funny, don't be sad, don't disappear. Oh, what a fear that is. Wanting nothing to do with yourself, though, at the thought of not hearing their voices, seeing their smiling faces, is so much to bear. Because you don't know how goddamn lucky you are to have 5 guys 6 feet and above to create a wall that I couldn't make for myself, to protect myself from my just can't say no's and fake confidence I used like bad medication, from hallway to class to hallway to lunch, staying by my side where I told them maybe throwing me to the curb would be for the best, than trying to take care of this sunflower that I am not, but making me feel emotions I never thought I'd feel, 'cause I wasn't worth the time. High school isn't a fairy tale full of glitter and happy critters, 'cause no one bursts out into song unless you're in B56, the thespian cave. Life is a scary, weird, anxious race to the end. You don't understand how goddamn lucky you are to have 6 handsome dorks doing library puzzles, saying those good morning hellos and how are yous. Playing games of pushing and shoving, encouraging to lift those next 5 pounds, for I thought the only companion I have would be my cat, and the scale making my emotions fall like the dead butterflies in my confining rib cage, till I remember all those hikes and camping trips with my poppies that they would take me on, yet also having imagination to pretending to be pirates, setting up that tent in the living room, 'cause not all situations are scary, and not all people are scary, and not all boys will hurt you. Cuss words will slip, emotions will get out of hand, because when you tell your poppy about your episode, he'll help you laugh. When you fall up the slide, your dad will bound up the hill to help you. And I'll stop shaking from the not-so-soft hands, but gentle and caring touch, a hug I didn't think I needed, 'cause sometimes I need fucking help. And it took me an attempt and several calls home to understand that. I need a role model to help me fix my hand from pull-ups, runners to your marks, from punching a wall, get set, from stepping on my own goddamn hand, bang.
One more time for Jordan. And shout out to tonight's photographer who left, but no, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Annika, Wyman, it's still here. And also Sophie, last name unknown. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry, ma'am. You're so good at your job, I just looked right past you. So good at your jobs. Can we have Jordan's scores, please? We have an 8.3, an 8.4, an 8.6, an 8.0, and an 8.2. And our next poet Olivia Thorpe.
I don't think I'm capable of writing an ugly line. My ugly thoughts about my ugly brain distill down into poems like these ones. Poems I try to write bloody, write gritty, write ugly, but they always turn into flowery prose. Because I can't escape the flowers growing from my pages no matter how shitty the fertilizer might be. My life is not a Hollywood movie set. It's a poorly written B-movie at best. And I've been wrestling all my life with the idea that it's okay to be gray, the idea of purity, of stark black and whiteism, contrasted against my life where my walls are painted oriental coral and it hurts my eyes, my life where nothing is told through film grain and it's all too bright, bright, bright. I'm not a small-town success story with flowers and weeds growing through cracks in the sidewalk. I'm no manic pixie dream girl with cigarette smoke escaping through cracks in my psyche. I've always gagged at the smell of tobacco. I'm a writer at heart. Of all my many attempts at passions, this is the one that's never left me, and I abuse my power. I take my stories and decline to live. It hurts me too badly to see that nothing is how it ought to be, that there's no backing track, no beat, no melody. The lighting is always just a little off, vomit yellow light bulbs casting the wrong shadow. So instead I live another life, in pages where dialogue is witty and relevant and spoken with purpose, where tragedy is resolved and sorrow is meaningful, where grief is a black-clad widow and not a petulant child with a crying headache that's lasted 2 years and counting. What I see is hardly a pretty picture, but goddamn if I'm not going to paint it like one.
Once more for Olivia, please. And Jamie, one of our one-act stage manager and writer of a play.
Director, Sarah.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry. Director Jamie Fields wants to stress the importance of the one acts that she is writing in. I don't know. Man. Go see the one acts. Go see the one acts.
I plan on it.
Ruby's planning on it.
Woo.
Join Ruby.
I'll be doing it Wednesday. So will I.
And if we could have Olivia's scores, please. 8.4, we have an 8.7, a 9.2, an 8.0, and an 8.3. And our next poet is Alara Lane Halbeck.
I got chosen third both times. Dedicated to the lover I haven't met. I want to talk. I want to talk about nothing and everything at the same time. I want to question the meaning of life, or at least what it means to us. I want to talk about scenarios that may or may never happen. I want to talk until there's nothing left to talk about and we have to look up ideas on Google so we never need to stop. I just want to talk. I want to talk not just with our voices, but with our bodies and motions. I want to talk as if tomorrow is happening right now and yesterday never existed. I want to talk until our souls never grow old and our bodies grow weak and weary, until neither of us can hear and we have to stand mouth to ear while you whisper things only we will know. I want to talk until we have to learn a new language. I want to create our own language. I want to annoy everyone because we can't keep quiet. I want to be loud with you. I want to shout with you like the world has never heard us, and together we are important and what we have to say can change things. I want the never-ending whisper of us running through the night like a leaky faucet you never get used to, even when we're sleeping. I want to see the energy we exude reach around everything we create. Until we can't remember everything, but it comes back in flash-flooding memories played in our mind like a movie montage. I want to talk until our words roll over our tongues and we have to go back because we're so confused and talk over it again. Until we talk to our kids when we're old about when we were young and couldn't shut up. I want to talk until I can track your mind and you can think like me, but I'll still know we think differently. I want to make a pinky promise and never break this poem so it never has to know the pain of the two broken souls, but the amazing that happened when we glued our halves in unity. I want people to look at us and see the pieces they left on the floor because the challenge was too much to pick us up and glue us into place with our greatness. I want them to see how great we made ourselves. I want to talk until we break down all the walls we built to keep us separate from the world. I want to explore the world with you. I want your cologne to smell like my perfume after we can't get any closer without being infused. I want your words and my thoughts to get mixed up with your thoughts and my words. I want the song of your voice stuck in my head that's so annoying, but it's playing on repeat, and all I can do is hear you speak. I want to hear all you have to say, even though I'm sure you're just like me and will never have enough time to say everything, because whereas words can be sweet or mean or incomplete, they come with a price. But between us, they are free, because we understand the profound meaning, and we smuggled them illegally between our lips when we first kissed, and the world stopped momentarily, and I was able to see everything that we had the potential to become. I want to talk until we can't breathe, and I'm struggling to say one last thing because this breath could be my last, and I never got enough time to say everything, and I haven't even given you your turn, but I don't even know who you are yet. So when we meet, speak.
One more time for Alara Lane. And as we wait for our scores, I want to give a special shout out to Junior Leo Helm, who designed this year's Slam logo. It looks like both a G and a 9. If anyone is interested in getting a t-shirt, stop by the circulation desk behind you on your way out tonight. It does. That's what it looks like.
I don't know why he's laughing.
Gosh, damn it.
Your humor is so dry. I love it.
Thank you, thank you.
Wonderful. What do you mean?
No, dry is a compliment. It's a style of humor.
I know, it's fine. Thank you so much. Danny and I are having this fun conversation. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
And with that, can we have Alara Lane scores? We have an 8.7, an 8.9, a 7.7, an 8.0, and an 8.3. And our next poet is Nicole Davis. Do you need the mic? I can move it as you come back. Should I move the mic? That's my entire question with this hand gesture. Should I move the mic?
I'm here now, so.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
I've noticed I don't feel the same, because after pain, our heart just don't heal the same. I'd be lying if I said I didn't feel the chemistry, but is it only there because that other nigga ain't matching my energy? Love versus lust. You know my trust is fucked up, but with you I thought I left if I was calling out your name, and you heard me, but you were not listening. Silly me, I believed you to do no wrong. You kissed me, said you missed me, starting to believe that was all lies. How could you hurt me? I know you saw the past pain between my eyes, but so you slid between my thighs. What tears from beneath my eyes, and now I've got no more tears left to cry. Been so fucking emotionally unavailable. My heart's no longer playable. I rewrote the book on love. There was once a time when I had so much that I was so willing to give. I allowed my soul to die just to see yours live, and I'm over allowing you to love me and then leave me. Fuck me, squeeze me, please me, then tell me to take it easy. I tell you it's yours and only yours. You still go out and fuck them bitches like they mean more. Was she wetter? Was she tighter? Do your dick just fit a little bit righter? Or maybe I never even crossed your mind. Because through mine, you're running all the time, so that's crazy. And lately, baby, I've been kind of losing my mind and... It's crazy because through mine, you've been running all the time, or maybe I'm tripping. Because when we started this, we said no strings attached, and you said I love you first, so what the fuck is up with that? I was good without you, but I was fucking with you regardless. I wish I would have known. I should have came into this heartless. I got all these questions, and you don't be having no fucking answers. You don't want someone to love. You just want a private dancer, and I convinced myself that I could be that. Maybe over time that you would see that you was doing me wrong, and you loved me all along, but y'all know me, I just be dreaming and shit. too good of a person, can't never see the demon in shit. But it's cool, cause now when you text, I ain't reading that shit. And ever since we separated, I've been gleaming in shit. I'm elevating my mental. I'm too real, baby. My love is too gentle for me to ever be unappreciated again.
One more time for Nicole. And because Miss Battle put it in the script, I'm going to plug my own club's t-shirts, the QSA t-shirts, that is the Queer Straight Alliance. Yeah! They're really cute. They've got like a rainbow and a mountain, and they say like subtly like QSA, but the rainbow isn't subtle. If you want to purchase one, give your child who goes here or me $20. We eat some pizza, you know, it's good. So, if I could have the judges' scores for Nicole. We have a 9.4, an 8.8, a 9.5, a 9.0, and a 9.0. And now, for our last poet, who knows who he is, Danny Fisher.
Oh, I apologize. Has it been... Your masculinity is fake. Reads the t-shirt of a girl passing by me in the hallway, and I wonder if anyone ever told her the same about her femininity. I wonder if she realizes how it makes me feel when she tells me that everything that makes men unique is an act. Because for a group of people that claim to have science on their side, I find modern progressives ignore it a lot, because this t-shirt, harmless on its own, is not isolated stupidity. It is one in a series of attacks targeting the natural instincts and behaviors that make me who I am. The feminist movement has a lot of traction, which is warranted, but no one ever told women that if they acted too much like women, it was toxic. They tell men that. They tell us to suppress our masculinity or we'll become rapists and murderers. They tell us that we have to take what makes us unique, cram it down, and drown it as if who we are is inherently bad. They tell me to take that Y chromosome that is burned into me and try to erase it with the backside of a pencil. When I tell them that I can't and that I don't want to, they make fun of me for my fragile masculinity. Perhaps men being so fragile is why we make up 93% of all workplace fatalities. Perhaps men being so damn fragile is why we run into burning buildings to save your cat so that you can write an op-ed for BuzzFeed about the pink tax. Nothing is fragile about me. And being proud to be a man is a contested issue these days, but I can say that I am a man and I am proud of it. And I know that women are very capable of being firefighters, but the fact is you mostly don't. 95% of firefighter applications are submitted by women. Are submitted by men. Men fix your cars, we build your houses, we fight your wars. We construct the very society that you live in, and then we leave it, going overseas and dying to protect your way of life. And the thing is, we don't mind. Men, we don't mind taking dangerous jobs, we don't mind losing years off our lifespans to harsh workplace conditions, we don't mind dying for our country. We don't mind these things because it's an integral part of who we are and how we are made. That Y chromosome that progressives are so afraid of gives us a natural instinct to protect and defend. That Y chromosome is why we let our wives and children safely off of the sinking ship before we even think about grabbing a lifeboat. Society deems us expendable, and we agree. And if you're still afraid of my dick, you should probably know that masculinity does not actually lead to rape and murder. It quite on the contrary prevents it. Boys who grow up with fathers and steady father figures in their lives are far less likely to drop out of school, commit violent crimes, and abuse women. Masculine men do not hurt people, bad men do. And masculinity is not force, it is innate and more often than not a force for good. So next time that you say that my masculinity is fake, take a second and think about how you got here. Because masculinity, right along with femininity, has been absolutely vital to the development and progression of society. So maybe think about the repercussions of telling men to stop acting like men. because nothing about that Y chromosome is fake. It can be goofy, it can be an idiot, it can be rough and tumble and a bit over-competitive at times, but it's there for a reason. And boy, oh boy, can it be beautiful. Thank you.
One more time for Danny. So, what we're all competing for, Verslandia, I'm so sorry. So the two winners of this are going to go on to Verslandia, which is a citywide poetry slam that features students from Portland high schools as they compete for poetic glory. The event is put on by Literary Arts, Oregon's own nonprofit dedicated to spreading the love of the written and spoken word. So the event is held at the Arlene Schnitzer Concert Hall. It's a big deal. And you get free food.
They feed you a whole dinner and everything. It's great.
It's good food.
Good food.
It's good food, I guess. Yeah, exactly. So it's on April 25th, a Thursday, on 2019, at 7 p.m. So judges, if we could have Danny's scores. We have a 7.9, an 8.2, a 7.8, an 8.4, and a 7.5. So, as I stall for our math genius, I'm going to tell you that student tickets for Verslandia are available through Miss Battle, so come talk to her after this, today or any other day before the event if you want one. And if you aren't a student, you can find the tickets on the Portland 5 Center for the Arts website with a quick Google. And to stall a little bit more, we have a scholarship by one of our judges, Elise. She is the owner of the Rose City Book Pub, and high school seniors probably know about this, but there's a scholarship she has put up where the information on that is all in the senior email that was sent to Grant seniors, and I'm sure Madeline Kokas could tell you that you could find it in the CCC. Yes, she agrees. Nope, okay. So, yeah, no, I would just kept on reading, and the Verslandia thing was what was supposed to solve for this. So, I can also tell you that Logo has written a book that he has been asking me to advertise all evening. Thank you, Logo. He read from it, I believe, when he performed his slam poem. He is so graciously modeling it right now. Thank you. I can also tell you that there will be
$9.99 on Amazon for Logo's book.
It's $9.99
on the Kindle.
On the Kindle, it's $3.99. On Amazon, it's $9.99. The one acts, again, Jade would like to stress, many of the poets in here tonight are in some way participating in the one act. They mean a lot to the Grant community, culture. I am too, but it's whatever. I really love them. You should go see them because some of our poets are acting in them, or teching in them, or wrote one. They're still mathing. Math is a really cool subject that Ruby disagrees, dang. Yep, it's how you calculate the averages of the scores. Nope, you know what? I discarded the papers with all of the announcements. Oh, but no, okay. But I was handed this flyer for Objection, a poetry slam about free speech, free press, and free society featuring poet NNC Alex Dang, who is so dang cool. I got to see a poem of his, that is so cute, when he performed at the Literary Arts Bookmark Bash. He is an awesome supporter of the arts in Oregon. It is an event for participants of ages 13 to 22 on Friday, May 24th from 6 to 9 p.m. It is held in the Lagunitas, exactly in the courtyard, community room, in this address in the corner that's a little too far for me to read. Oh, but Miss Battle is coming up with your scores.
I'm so sorry. Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
Sarah.
you, Sarah. Okay. Oh, let's adjust that mic. Okay. I didn't say anything. All right. So this year, our runner-ups are Danny Fisher and Alara Elaine Holback. Come on up. Okay, in third place and an alternate for Verselandia this year is Olivia Thorpe. Okay. Olivia, come on up. Second place, representing us at Verselandia this year, is Jordan Dimoff, and that means repeat winner Nicole Davis will be representing us at Verselandia. So here are all of your poetry winners this year. Thank you. I want to get one more photo. And thanks everybody for being here tonight. I really look forward to next year when we are in remodeled Grant and in our fabulous, what do they call them, Miss Sochiwa? The Forum? We will be in the Forum next year for our Poetry Slam. So look forward to seeing you there next year, and I look forward to seeing a lot of y'all at Verselandia to cheer on these poets up here. Thank you.